Hey everyone, I'm Aureolin. We're back to another episode of Aureolin's Heartrate Gaming. We're back to Fallout 4, and we finally made it
Head on inside.
to Diamond City. So we get to go inside and see the city.
Mayor McDonough has always been against the Minutemen. I never quite understood why.
Yeah, that's a good question. But man, that armor is weird. What is the purpose? Oh, hi. Hey there.
Hey there.
Hey, you must be with the Minutemen. Wow, I really appreciate everything you guys do.
Oh,
What's with you vault dwellers in
thanks.
those jumpsuits, huh?
Glad to hear it.
Keep up the good work. Here, take this. I'm sure you'll put it to good use.
Need something?
Take what? Well, she didn't give me anything.
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall.
Like her. Now we have to start worrying about stealing.
Free paper to newcomers. If the Institute grabs you in the night, at least we warned you.
A free paper? Sounds like quality.
I'm serious. The Institute takes people. You should read up if you're sticking around.
The Institute?
You ain't heard of the Institute, lady? They snatch people up in the night and no one hears from them again. It's all in the paper. Better read up before they grab you, too.
Who's gone missing?
Drifters, residents, stadium seat snobs. Seems every year or so, someone's gone, and we all know why. So you better be careful, newcomer. The Institute is out there, and they'll grab you too. Like I said, it's all in the paper.
I believe you. Thanks.
You're a real lost lamb in the wolf's den, lady. So what are you doing in Diamond City anyway?
I came here looking for someone.
Let me guess. That someone's gone missing, right? That's what I'm telling you. So who is it?
A baby boy. He was kidnapped.
A baby? Wow, that's a new one. Usually it's adults. You're in bad luck. No one tries to find missing people in Diamond City. Missing people means the Institute is involved. And no one's going to want to get the Institute's attention.
Alright. I really suck at persuasion, so...
Fine. I'll ask around somewhere else.
Remember, the Institute's out there, newcomer. Watch your back.
I always do. Thanks for the warning. Alright. So, she gave us this paper. What was it called? The Synthetic Truth. Okay. Public occurrences. October 2287, The Synthetic Truth by Piper Wright. Noodles. We all eat them. We all love them. And Diamond City's Power Noodles has supplied this sustenance for the past 15 years. From the stilted mechanical cadence of Takahashi's programmed Japanese to the fragrant steam that wafts from each bowl to the scalding tang of each delicious mouthful, the ordering and eating of noodles is but one of many shared human experiences. Or is it? I was struck by this very question as I sat at the counter of Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner I had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own Mayor McDonough sidle up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual. Right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing, yes, eating noodles. The shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have also seemed to the residents of Diamond City nearly 60 years ago, on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229, as they sat around this very same counter. But that was before the days of Takahashi and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles but ice-cold Nuka-Colas, frothy beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he facilitated the shared human experiences of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing. That is until tragedy struck. There aren't many of us who are even old enough to remember that evening, although some of the city's ghoul residents certainly could have. had they not been forcibly removed thanks to Mayor McDonough's anti-ghoul decree of 2282. But there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events of that evening, respected matriarch Eustace Hawthorne, who recounted her story in a public occurrences exclusive interview. "Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me now. 22 years old or so and just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind the wall. We all were, so what was the harm? And let me tell you, that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into town earlier that day, said he was from out west somewhere. It didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile and his laugh and the way he make everyone feel at ease. That night at the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him. Everyone wanted to exchange a word or hear about the state of the Commonwealth, and Mr. Carter, he was all too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful until it wasn't." Eustace continued her account of that evening and the moment when things turned sinister and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. "We'd been drinking and carrying on. Must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks in that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face all in an instant. And then his cheeks started twitching, kind of funny. And I remember watching him clear as if it happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, and then blam! He shot Henry, the barman, right in the head. Didn't hesitate, didn't show any emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually as if he were paying him for a drink. But his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you, all heck broke loose after that. What Eustace is describing is, of course, is the infamous event known as the Broken Mask, when the people of the Commonwealth learned for the first time that the Institute, the shadowy scientific organization responsible for the creation of combat androids, had actually succeeded in creating a model so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society. Unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City, the Institute had somehow evolved their androids into true synthetic humans since. After he shot Henry, that Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people too. Like I said, all heck broke loose. The guards came running, they opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. It seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid, gone crazy, and he lay there like a dead crazy man, sure enough. It was horrible. But then we saw plastic and the metal. This was one of them early scents, you see, and we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was then we all knew the Institute wasn't just out there. The Institute was everywhere now, among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing spree. Some suggested he had somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still others felt he had simply malfunctioned, a hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone, but at that time the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was that the humans of the Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motives were, and still are, a complete mystery, using a model of synth even less advanced than the ones the Institute has in service today, which brings us to noodles, specifically the noodles consumed by Mayor McDonough last Wednesday night, in the same spot that Mr. Carter the synth went haywire mercilessly, killed several people after spending hours sharing an experience the people of Diamond City assumed was reserved for members of the human race. They were wrong. Are we? Woo! That was a read. So, basically what they're saying is
Paper puts on quite a show.
synths are among us and they look exactly like us.
What do you mean by that?
Well, folks are already plenty scared of the Institute, but that doesn't stop the paper from talking about them every chance they get. Anyway, don't let it get to you. Life here is still a hell of a lot safer than out there in the Commonwealth.
I'll be fine, thanks.
Welcome. So what brings you to the Great Green Jewel?
Missing
Looking for
person.
someone who's gone missing.
Gone missing. Who is it? Friend? Relative?
A baby boy. Kidnapped.
A baby boy? Really? I'm afraid missing people don't get found in Diamond City. God seems to have turned a blind eye to them. And with all the fear of the Institute in people's hearts, they've turned a blind eye as well.
Great!
Are people really that scared of the Institute?
Well, they built the synths, and instead of stepping back and solemnly pondering if machines could have souls, they went straight to replacing people with them. Folks are afraid of going to bed at night, wondering if the Institute is going to switch them with a double, or if the loved one they went to sleep next to is going to be different when they wake up.
Why replace people with synths? What are they?
Well, at first they were machines. The early models still roam the Commonwealth. Sometimes they destroy a whole town and take what's left somewhere only God knows. But now, the Institute makes synths that have real hair, skin, and organs. They can make them look like anyone, and you can imagine what kind of power that could bring. Honestly, I don't recommend thinking about it. Nothing you can do about the Institute. No one knows where they are anyway.
I'm lost, Pastor. I need help. Please.
Well,
Hey!
I don't want to get your hopes up, but there is someone who might be able to help. Nick Valentine. He's a detective. Saved a lot of lives over the years, but so many more stay missing. And trouble has a habit of sticking to him.
Thanks. I'll go talk to him.
Take care of yourself now.
Get your copy of the public. We expose the truth behind the Institute.
Okay, so when you guys come into Diamond City, I highly recommend
one of those things.
checking out all the venues and all the different little places you can go into. This place is huge, and there's a ton of little things within the city that are pretty cool and interesting to
New
check
files are
out.
open. Do you have a legitimate medical concern? Or is this about a facial reconstructive services?
Don't mean nothing.
Facial reconstruction? What's that?
It's Doc Crocker's specialty. If you're interested, talk to him about it. Just head through the door with our logo on it. Now, if you have an actual medical problem, speak up.
You? I don't know you. Just keep your distance.
One statue of Diana impression coming up.
Good. Good. Now just answer me one simple question. Are you human? Because I will not serve a synth.
No, I'm Jangles, the moon monkey.
That's just what a synth would do. Ducking the question. We don't serve your kind here.
Oh,
Myrna.
I said we don't serve your kind here, you synth. Trying to tell me you're human now?
Why would you think I'm a synth?
Why wouldn't I? A synth looks just like a person, with hair and sweat and blood and everything. So, are you human or not?
Human as the day I was born.
Well, you do look human enough. But I'll be watching you. I have eyes like a... Well, they're good eyes. Got it? All right. We can do business, but no funny stuff.
What kind of business are you running here anyway?
We buy and sell anything and everything. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The robot takes care of customers at night. Only one I trust to do it. At least I know he's a machine.
So she's terrified of synths.
I've got a few minutes
but
to
she lets
browse.
a robot
Odds and
run
ends.
her shop. Interesting.
So thirsty.
Oh, hey.
Doctor says I can't drink liquor no more. Cola. Need a Nuka-Cola.
Because that'll hydrate you.
Sheffield.
Need a drink. Nuka-Cola.
Drink some water.
You wanted a Nuka-Cola. What's the big deal?
Nuka-Cola.
Oh, jeez.
So thirsty.
I guess Preston doesn't like me joking around.
Here you go.
Look at you, being nice to someone.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate that you did that.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you appreciate that, I guess.
You there! You need a genuine, authentic,
This
custom-made
guy's
hickory
awesome.
swatter.
Swatter?
What's a swatter?
Rookie, eh? A swatter, my friend, is a Diamond City tradition. See, it used to be that this whole place was a stadium. and 2 teams would meet and play a game called baseball. One team would beat the other team to death with these things called baseball bats, and the best bats were called swatters. True fact.
True fact!
Oh, really? What kind of teams were there?
There was the Diamond City Demolishers, big brutes of guys, played in full power armor with special pneumatic arms for swinging. Then you had the Lexington Ladies, an all-female team with Coach Bloody Mary Sue at the helm, highest kill count in the league. I could spend all day talking about the Concord Crushers or the Quincy Killmeisters, but you get the idea. It was a hell of a sport.
Whatever you say.
Well, believe it or don't believe it, you'll be convinced once you swing a swatter into someone's face. How about you buy one today?
No, thanks.
Got any work?
Well, if you want to help the sport, I got a lead on a stash of pre-war collector's items. Coach, quitting his for punks Western, had an estate not too far from here. Legend says when he retired, the league presented him with a baseball, catcher's mitt, and playing card signed by all the other coaches. See where I'm going with this? I'll pay 100 caps each for those relics. What do you say?
Ooh. Yeah.
A card, a mitt, and a ball. Got it.
I thank you. And baseball thanks you.
I hear there's a bar in the old theater district that's for raiders only. The combat zone. I'd stay clear if I was you.
Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
Oh. So baseball used to be a game of beating people to death.
Sometimes you gotta wonder.
Sounds accurate.
Does anyone fight back? Institute has to have enemies, right?
What? You mean the railroad? That's a fairy tale, man. They don't exist.
Nah, I heard from my cousin. He knows a guy that works for him. They got a code phrase and everything. Follow the Freedom Trail.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? You're full of it, and that kind of talk is gonna get you smashed up.
Protection for sale! Hand-tooled pieces!
Okay, so here is Valentine Detective Agency. So let's go in and see if this detective can help us find our kid. Someone help us.
Wouldn't last forever.
After all the trouble we went through just to get here.
Ties. Oh, Nick.
Don't mind me.
The bills.
This is funny too. The Mysterious Stranger. Case, the Mysterious Stranger. Sightings of a man dubbed the Mysterious Stranger have been popping up sporadically across the old US for years now. Best case, the man's an armorial lunatic. Worst case, a prolific serial killer. All anyone knows is his MO, appearing suddenly, killing without remorse, and disappearing without a word. The stranger has no known accomplices, no clear method for selecting his targets, no calling cards left behind. Sightings range from the NCR all the way to the East Coast, stretching back decades. Now he's come to the Commonwealth. Last thing this place needs is another psychopath running amok. Time to start putting together the pieces to put this one away. Description: human male, outfits vary, but most recent sightings describe a large overcoat and fedora. Guy has taste, I'll give him that much. One man? Multiple men? A ghoul with minimal scarring? Might explain the long passages of time between sightings. Appears and disappears suddenly, suggesting preternatural infiltration abilities, access to advanced cloaking tech. All but earliest descriptions suggest the stranger uses only conventional arms, making infiltration training more likely. Perps like this make me wish the Institute had sprung for thermal detection before giving me the boot. Sighting locations: Commonwealth, confirmed. Capital Wasteland, confirmed. NCR, old rumors. Shady Sands, really old rumors. So, if you don't know from these games, the Mysterious Stranger is a perk that you can get. Who is he? Why does he help? Who cares? The mysterious stranger will appear occasionally in bats to lend a hand with deadly efficiency. So basically, you have a random chance of him just popping up when you're in bats, and he blasts, you know, whoever you're targeting dead, and then he disappears. So apparently this detective is trying
detective secretary
to find him.
I'll never find.
There we go.
Here's another Robco Fun magazine. It's got Zeta Invaders. It's another game. Okay, hey, Ellie Perkins.
Something wrong?
Another stray coming in from the rain. Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
What?
Wait, who are you? You the detective?
Me? No, I'm Nick's secretary. Handle his appointments, his papers, that sort of thing. Well, that's what I used to do anyway, but now Nick's disappeared and I can't keep a detective agency open without a detective.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
Nick was working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
Who's this Skinny Malone character?
I don't know much about him, but he's from Good Neighbor, and that means he's in the well-pressed suits and machine gun school of thuggery.
You said Malone's from Good Neighbor?
Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. Northeast a ways. People with power there care about two things: style and body count.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
Do you have a minute?
Oh. Preston wants to talk.
Sure, go ahead.
When we first met, I admit, I had my doubts about you, but you've done nothing but impress me. You're just who the Minutemen needed to bring us back from the brink.
Thanks.
Thanks. That means a lot coming from you.
You've probably realized by now how important the Minutemen are to me. When I was a kid, the Minutemen were my heroes. They were the only good guys around, really. When I turned 17, I joined up with Ezra Hollis's company. He was one of the good ones. Really believed in the old-time Minuteman way. We had a few good years there. I felt like I was part of something bigger than me, like I was really helping make the Commonwealth a better place.
It sounds like you were really making a difference.
I think we were. I know we were. But obviously it didn't last. I'm sure there was a lot I didn't see or know enough to pay attention to. You know, the politics and rivalries and bad blood between the different groups. I guess General Becker was able to keep a lid on it, keep everyone more or less on the same team. But after he was killed, it all came out in the open. I couldn't believe it at first. These guys were supposed to be Minutemen. They were supposed to put their duty to the people ahead of everything else. You probably think I was pretty naive, huh? I guess I was. Still am, too. Even after everything. I still believe that the Minutemen can be what I always thought they were. The good guys.
We are the good guys.
We're doing our best. And a lot of it has to do with your example. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, thanks. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to listen.
Anytime, Preston.
Thanks. We probably better get back to it.
Yay!
Hey.
Okay. Hey.
How are you feeling about things?
I still wonder what this Brotherhood outpost is doing here. I've never heard of them operating in the Commonwealth before.
What are you thinking about?
I don't know that we really want to invite more Brotherhood forces into the Commonwealth, General.
How do you feel about our relationship?
I'm glad I ran into you in Concord. I think you're going to turn out to be the right choice to lead the Minutemen.
Nothing else for now.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap this episode up right here. And then next time, we're going to set out on a quest to find Nick Valentine. So that should be pretty exciting. And if you are enjoying, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. See ya!